At this very moment, a snake could be quietly hiding somewhere in your backyard, and the plants you've carefully grown are the reason it chose to stay. The vast majority of homeowners never suspect that some of the most familiar and visually stunning garden plants are essentially rolling out a welcome mat for these reptiles. Not because snakes have any particular connection to the plants themselves, but because those plants naturally produce the precise conditions that snakes depend on to thrive: concealment, shade, moisture, and a reliable source of food. Today, we're walking through 15 specific garden plants that are well documented for drawing snakes in, explaining exactly why each one does it, and telling you precisely what steps you can take in response. The first plant is English ivy. English ivy ranks among the most snake-accommodating plants you could possibly introduce into your outdoor space, and the overwhelming majority of people are completely unaware of this. Its thick, ground-hugging vines form a dense, shadowy layer of coverage that snakes use as a protected resting spot throughout the daylight hours. Beyond that, the damp and cool environment that develops beneath the ivy draws in the insects, slugs, and small rodents that snakes actively hunt. In effect, it functions as an all-inclusive buffet with permanent shelter included. The second plant is liriope, also known as monkey grass. Liriope, commonly referred to as monkey grass or lily turf, is a widely favored border plant and, simultaneously, a highly favored snake habitat. Its dense, low-growing clumps form a thick tangle of foliage that a snake can vanish into within a matter of seconds. It retains moisture exceptionally well, which keeps the soil beneath it consistently cool and damp, precisely the conditions snakes seek when attempting to regulate their internal body temperature. The third plant is juniper shrubs. Low-spreading junipers extend wide and full, with branches that reach down to the ground and form a dark, protective canopy of cover. Snakes, particularly the larger species, favor coiling beneath juniper shrubs during the peak heat of the day because the dense branching keeps temperatures stable and the earth below well shaded. The layer of dried needles that accumulates underneath also stays relatively dry and insulating, making it an ideal denning location. The fourth plant is ornamental grasses. Tall ornamental varieties such as pampas grass, miscanthus, and feather reed grass bring undeniable visual appeal to any landscape, and they are equally appealing to snakes. The thick, compressed base of these grasses forms a hollow, sheltered cavity at the center that snakes can enter and exit without ever being detected. The considerable height also shields them from aerial and ground predators, effectively turning your ornamental grass planting into a premium snake refuge. The fifth plant is hostas. Hostas are shade-loving perennials whose wide, overlapping leaves produce a cool, darkened microclimate at soil level. Snakes make use of hosta beds the same way they would use a crevice between rocks, as a shaded resting space that keeps them close to the ground and out of view. Hosta plantings also attract slugs and frogs, which represent two of the most consistent prey sources for smaller snake species. The sixth plant is creeping phlox. Creeping phlox presses tightly against the ground and expands into a dense mat that is nearly impossible to see through or beneath. That thick mat traps moisture against the soil and creates a hidden zone of activity below the surface. Insects, earthworms, and small invertebrates move freely underneath it, pulling in snakes that are actively hunting. Because it sits so low and flat, most homeowners don't realize a snake is moving through it until they are standing almost directly above one. The seventh plant is Pachysandra. Pachysandra is among the most commonly planted ground covers in residential gardens across the country, and also among the most accommodating to snakes. It spreads in thick, uniform mats that prevent light from reaching the soil, keeping it persistently cool and moist. That combination of continuous surface coverage and reliable moisture acts as a magnet for earthworms, pillbugs, and small amphibians, all of which bring snakes into dangerously close proximity to your walkways and flower beds. The eighth plant is azalea bushes. Azaleas develop with a dense, low-branching structure that creates a naturally sheltered space right at ground level. Snakes use the area directly beneath azalea bushes as daytime resting cover, particularly during the warmer months of the year. The leaf litter that accumulates at the base of azalea plantings also harbors insects and small prey, transforming the root zone into both a snake shelter and an active feeding ground. The ninth plant is holly bushes. Holly bushes are full, dense, and heavily thorned, which discourages predators from entering, and that same quality makes them highly attractive to snakes in search of safe cover. The layered interior of a holly bush is difficult to observe from the outside, allowing a snake to remain completely undetected for extended periods. Holly also produces berries that bring birds and small mammals close. And wherever small mammals gather, snakes will consistently follow. The 10th plant is vinca, also called periwinkle. Vinca is another fast-expanding ground cover that lays a solid, uninterrupted carpet across the soil surface. Because it spreads so aggressively, it generates large, continuous stretches of coverage through which snakes can travel without ever being exposed. The moist, shaded conditions that develop beneath vinca are particularly appealing to frogs, and wherever a frog population establishes itself, snake activity in that area rises substantially. The 11th entry is compost and mulch beds. This one does not refer to a single plant, but it belongs on this list without question. Deeply mulched garden beds planted with thick perennials or established shrubs produce some of the most attractive possible environments for snakes. Mulch holds both moisture and warmth, generating the kind of microbial activity that consistently draws in earthworms, insects, and rodents. Snakes are particularly drawn to the warmth of decomposing mulch, especially in early spring when they are emerging from dormancy and actively seeking external heat sources. The 12th plant is blackberry and raspberry canes. Wild and cultivated brambles, such as blackberries and raspberries, produce extraordinarily dense, thorny thickets that are nearly impenetrable for humans and predators alike. That physical barrier of protection is precisely why snakes choose to take up residence within bramble patches. The fruit attracts birds and rodents, which draws snakes in as active predators. And the tangled canes provide all the shelter they require to remain in place for extended periods. The 13th plant is daylilies. Daylilies appear in home gardens with remarkable frequency and are often planted in large, tightly grouped clusters. As the foliage dies back and regenerates season after season, it builds up a layer of dead plant material at the base that retains moisture and offers snakes a reliable place to shelter at ground level. Daylily beds are especially attractive in spring, when snakes are moving actively and seeking warm, sheltered positions close to the soil surface. The 14th plant is sedum, also known as stonecrop. Low-growing sedum varieties spread close to the ground and develop into dense, succulent mats. While sedum itself does not attract significant prey activity, it provides low, flat coverage in sunny areas, which is exactly the type of microenvironment that certain snake species actively seek for basking. Snakes will position themselves at the edges of or just beneath sedum mats to absorb solar heat while remaining largely concealed from view. The 15th plant is ferns. Garden ferns, particularly larger spreading varieties such as ostrich fern or autumn fern, produce a lush and dense canopy close to the ground in shaded garden spaces. The combination of thick frond coverage, consistent soil moisture, and deep shade creates a cool, humid microclimate that reliably attracts salamanders, frogs, and earthworms. All of these creatures are primary prey for common garden snake species, which means fern beds can represent some of the most consistently active snake zones in any shaded garden setting. Now that you have a clear picture of which plants are creating the problem, here is how to meaningfully reduce the risk without dismantling your garden entirely. The first step is to keep your lawn mowed short. Snakes instinctively avoid open, exposed ground. A well-maintained lawn removes their ability to move invisibly across your yard, and eliminates the low cover they need near your home. The second step is to trim your shrubs up off the ground. The most dangerous zone beneath any shrub is the gap between the lowest branches and the soil surface. Trim that lower portion so there is a clear, visible opening of at least 6 to 12 inches between the ground and the canopy above. This eliminates the concealed pocket that snakes depend on. The third step is to remove leaf piles and yard debris without delay. Leaf accumulations, wood stacks, and garden waste represent premium snake habitat. Do not allow them to build up anywhere on your property. The fourth step is to install a gravel border around your home's foundation. Snakes are reluctant to cross rough, open gravel because it offers no concealment. A 2 to 3 foot perimeter of gravel around the base of your home significantly lowers the likelihood of snakes approaching the structure. The fifth step is to actively manage rodent populations. This is the single most impactful long-term prevention measure available to you. Snakes go wherever food is reliably available. The sixth step is to thin out dense ground covers on a regular basis. Never allow ground cover plantings to consolidate into solid, unbroken layers. The seventh step is to eliminate standing water and excess moisture. Address leaky irrigation lines. Remove containers that collect rainwater, and improve drainage in areas that remain waterlogged after precipitation. If you want to reduce the conditions that attract snakes without sacrificing the visual beauty and ecological function of a well-planted garden, there are thoughtful alternatives worth considering. In areas where dense ground covers like ivy or pachysandra currently grow, consider replacing them with decomposed granite, river rock, or decorative gravel as a ground treatment. In place of large ornamental grasses, explore low-growing clumping varieties that remain compact and do not develop the hollow central base that snakes favor. Blue fescue is an excellent candidate. It stays tight and well-defined. Rather than wide-spreading shrubs, opt for upright columnar varieties that grow vertically without spreading broadly at ground level. Instead of deep mulch beds, try applying a thinner layer of 1 to 2 inches over landscape fabric or a gravel base. For shaded areas where ferns and hostas currently grow, consider transitioning to raised planters or elevated container gardens. Lifting plants off the ground removes the ground-level hiding zone entirely. Lighting is one of your most underutilized tools. Solar-powered path lights and motion-activated lighting positioned along your garden borders make your outdoor space considerably less appealing for nocturnal snake activity. Planting lavender, marigold, and lemongrass along sunny border edges is also worth doing. These plants are widely associated with some degree of deterrent effect through their strong aromatic presence, and they do not attract the prey species that bring snakes into residential gardens in the first place. That covers all 15 plants. And now you understand not only which ones to watch for, but the underlying logic behind why snakes are drawn to them. That deeper understanding is what separates a garden that stays reasonably safe from one that quietly becomes a snake habitat without the homeowner ever noticing. Here is what I would like you to do right now. Leave a comment and share which of these plants you currently have growing in your garden. You may be genuinely surprised. Many people discover they have 4, 5, or even 6 of them in their yard at this very moment. Let us get that conversation started. If this video gave you useful information, please take a moment to hit the like button. It makes a real difference in helping this channel, Primal Life, reach more homeowners and garden enthusiasts who need exactly this kind of content. And if you have not yet subscribed to Primal Life, right now is the perfect time. Hit subscribe and make sure the notification bell is turned on so you never miss another garden safety video. New content goes out every single week to help you garden with more knowledge, more safety, and more confidence. Your garden is meant to be a space you genuinely enjoy spending time in, not one that causes you anxiety. Thank you for being here, stay safe, and we will see you in the next one.